What's up, gamers? Aaron Shack here. We're going to take a look at the new Assassin's Creed Mirage cinematic
Peggy
world
18.
premiere trailer. So this is Basim.
Basim, Ebne's Hawk. Are you ready to give up who you once thought you were?
I am.
Now, Ubisoft has said here that Basim is 17 years old and that this is a coming-of-age story starring Lee Majjoub, who is voicing Basim. This takes place 20 years before Valhalla. So we're going to do kind of a breakdown here of the video, and then we'll talk about any extraneous info that I've gathered since. So as we can see here, we're in the dense city of Baghdad. We've got, some Arabic coffee being poured right there. Absolutely delicious. This is how we prepare it and serve it. And it's amazing and delicious. But yeah, the crowds are back in this game. And you can see this dense marketplace is full of people to blend in with, and to try not to maybe bump into and spill all these baskets and draw attention to yourself.
Ready to sacrifice everything you held close.
So this is a love letter to Assassin's Creed 1, a narrative-driven game as opposed to Ubisoft's more recent RPG approaches.
I am.
Basim starts as a young thief, as you can see, pickpocketing.
Are you ready to leave your life behind and walk the path of shadows?
I am.
So he's a nimble thief, but he's not perfect. Now, this is another mechanic that we're going to be able to utilize in the game. If you remember in Assassin's Creed 1, you were kind of able to, clamber through marketplace stalls and stuff like that, and you could also throw enemies into, scaffolding and marketplace, shops and whatnot for an instant takedown. Well, now you're able to apparently, have multiple approaches to how you want to handle situations, but being able to parkour around stuff and knock things down to throw off your pursuers is going to give you a leg up. Because they have said that this game is it's not a combat thing. Basim is not a tank, like Ivor in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You are much more back to the basics, nimble assassin, parkour, you're not wearing lots of heavy armor and stuff like that. You need to be nimble in your robes. So here we show Basim failing at some basic parkour here. So once again, he's going to learn from these experiences. Throwing knives coming from his mentor Roshan, okay? And a very important thing to note here is that Roshan is being played by Shore Aglashu. She is the character in the game is 50 years old, and she is going to mentor him throughout the series. And we see her utilizing something that we've seen in older Assassin's Creed games. You can jump on the hook or something and sort of swing around a corner. And there were also quick ways to get up to rooftops and stuff, various pulleys and construction devices and stuff in previous Assassin's Creed games. So once again, we're seeing this as kind of a quick way for her to navigate this area and then quickly, boom, get in the classic air assassination.
Come into the light.
Yeah, Shori has certainly a voice that is very recognizable. You might remember her as Lakshmi from the Destiny games. You might know her from The Expanse. But now she's in an Assassin's Creed game playing our mentor. So she's bringing us into the Hidden Ones, and we're about to see some footage of Alamut, which is a fortress in the northern mountains of Iran where the assassins are going to train, and this will be the end of the Hidden Ones and the beginning of the Assassin's Creed. So, check it out. So, just kind of a throwback here, right? This is certainly paying homage to Masyaf and other older. You're going to see a lot of references here to Assassin's Creed 1. And we're also getting a hint at what combat might be like. Assassin's Creed trailers throughout the years have always been incredibly literal. I mean, it's very rare that something is shown in a trailer like this that does not actually show up in gameplay. Otherwise, they would often use, the words before a trailer say, not representative of actual gameplay. You don't really see that in Assassin's Creed trailers. They are not deceptive like other, strategy games will often have fancy CG trailers like this, but that are completely not representative of the gameplay. So, just getting a look at what, swordplay might be like. Now remember this. He disarms her, thinking he's got the edge. He's kind of a brash young thief that believes in free will here. So he thinks he's got the edge on his master. He goes in, but then she gets him with this classic grab here. And remember this move because we are going to see this later. So yeah, let's just analyze how she pulls that off. He's smug. He comes in, and of course she dodges off to the side, grabs him from behind. Does the takedown, the disarm, drops the blade.
From the light,
There you go.
you will return to the dark.
So we're seeing him brought into the, whatever you want to call it, the Hidden Ones. But this is very much similar to how the assassins are going to bring in their members and
Never forget the tenets you have sworn to uphold.
off their fingers. Alright, so this is the next big thing that we're seeing here. This is a look at the Karkh district. You can see the bazaar up ahead. This is definitely the center of trade here in the city. We'll also see just kind of off to the right there, that's the Caliphal Palace. That's the heart of the city. It's walled in. There's multiple districts here that we're going to be exploring. We're going to have districts based on science, trading, industry. The Sharqiya military defense district will be a thing. Much like the early entries in this game, it's really just going to take place here in Baghdad, in this city, and in its multiple districts, as well as Alamut. But they really wanted to focus on just creating a dense world and a really good story to tell within that world. And the world has been designed with the parkour roots, with stealth, the idea that people are going to want to traverse these environments quickly. Let's see. A more granular detection system has also been made to allow greater detail in stealth encounters. You can also expect the return of classic parkour moves. As I said earlier, the corner swing is a big one. And the free running is going to be faster than in previous games. So that makes me excited because Unity, to me, was the peak of parkour in Assassin's Creed games. And of course, we're getting a look here at the eagle. This is Enkidu. Enkidu is the eagle that you can control and mark enemies for recon purposes, so they brought that back to the game. But yeah, giving us an overlook here at Baghdad.
Stay your blade from the flesh.
Crowds
of
that
the
will
innocent.
blend into. And we're also going to get a look here at one of Basim's new skills. He has an ability to slow down time and perform multiple assassinations at once. And this feels like Assassin's Creed sort of taking a page from Splinter Cell's mark and execute system, or Batman Arkham Knight's multi-fear takedowns. So once again, Basim here is blending in by sitting on a bench, you know, something we've seen in older Assassin's Creed games.
Hide in plain sight.
And he's used that to quickly showcase what I was just talking about, this sort of mark and execute system, or this fear multi-takedown thing. They didn't give us a name for this, but it's called Assassin's Focus. Assassin's Focus is the name of it, and it slows down time and allows you to quickly pick out these targets and take them out nimbly. So once again, it's giving you all the tools to do what we did in the older Assassin's Creed games, which we wanted to be cool, we wanted to be stealthy, we wanted to be able to dispatch foes quickly and then disappear. So once again, smoke bombs are back, and Basim's able to eliminate multiple enemies here. And then once again, you know, symbolizing, you know, this is not like Valhalla, you know, you're not going to want to sit here and duke it out with like 20 dudes, because, you know, you don't have armor, you don't have a shield, you know, stuff like that. So you're going to have lots of options. You know, you got smoke bombs to disguise your escape. You know, you've got all your parkour tools. You know, you have things in the environment to be able to slow down, knock down, defeat enemies and stuff. Various gadgets that you're going to use, right? So once again, there's parkour. And this is a look at some of Basim's mines. So he has quite a kit of gadgets that he can use: a blow dart, traps, throwing knives, a noisemaker, mines. These are obviously setting off some sort of smoke. You can customize the effects and behaviors of these devices. So these are knocking out these guys. But, you know, obviously we saw smoke bombs earlier. And of course, is the eagle, sort of marking people ahead of time. Now this here is really interesting. We see Basim do sort of a slide here. So I wonder if that's going to be a mechanic that we'll see in game. Is that a way that we'll be able to parkour through the environment? Okay, so the next thing that's really interesting here is that this enemy lights this torch, lights this bomb on his torch, and throws it, causing a fire here, and you're able to dodge it. But also what we're seeing here is, while Basim is fighting, this, to me, looks like a return of the grab move from Assassin's Creed 3, which allows you to sort of take a human shield, right? So we'll watch this fully in motion here, but this was a move that was established in Assassin's Creed 3. You could quickly grab an enemy and use him as a human shield, and then, you know, whoever was shooting you, you know, a British soldier or whatever, would actually end up shooting one of his own colleagues because, you know, you're using him as a shield. So there you go. So once again, he's able to use that enemy as a shield and let him take the brunt of the firebomb here. So let's watch the whole thing in motion here as Basim slides in. So yeah, lots of exciting mechanics and what looks like a love letter to the first several Assassin's Creed games.
From this day forward, you are a hidden one.
Now this here is a nod to the Assassin's Creed 2 CG trailer, where Ezio drops down from a very similar thing onto the street here. So they know what they're referencing. Yeah, lots of dodging, counterattacks, and we're seeing that he's removed the mask of this Ancient One, the Order of the Ancient, which he's going after here. They will have masks. They're certainly designed after the Babylonians, who will have occupied this area previously. So yeah, once again, we'll see more of the masks from the Order of the Ancients. And see here, you know, normally a younger, brasher Basim might have fallen for the kicking up sand technique here, but as we can see, he's learned a lot since he was training with Roshan. So he's able to do a grab move here that Roshan did on him. So it shows that he learns from his mistakes. So he's a little brash, he's a little overconfident and stuff like that, which is going to make him an interesting character to follow throughout the series here. Let's see. There you go. Now, another neat thing to note here about the logo here is that this is actually the Arabic phrase for hidden one, has been sort of cleverly disguised in the logo here. And we're also seeing here sort of, this is a callback to the old Assassin's Creed 1 assassinations, where you would sort of, this is how you would prove the kill, was you would take a feather and wipe the blood of the person you've killed, and then you would bring that back to your leader or your master and show that the kill has been made. But what's interesting here is what is shown in the shadows looking at Basim, which appears to be some sort of a jinn. And he looks a little terrified, so he doesn't really know what's going on here.
Assassin's Creed Mirage, coming 2023.
So yeah, this is coming 2023. Now I want to sort of just talk about some extra details that we have here in the game. This is a move back to the classic game template, which means that the RPG structure of the modern Assassin's Creed games is not really at play here. Not that it's going anywhere. Apparently, you know, Codename Red and other games may be still utilizing the RPG structure, but Mirage is going to be a linear game, a little more narrative focused, you know, a little more focused on the storyline. And there will be stretches of linear mission chains and then segments where you'll be able to choose from a number of different available quests. You know, think back to the older Assassin's Creed where you sort of had to do some recon. You had to set up the situation for your assassination. You know, you had to learn about your target by, you know, stalking targets, pickpocketing, finding out information, eavesdropping, you know, just doing various mission types. If you've played some of the older Assassin's Creed games, a lot of this will sound quite familiar. And then the quests will be what Ubisoft calls black box missions, which are main assassination quests. And these provide opportunities to define the means, the path that you utilize to take down your target. And it really makes me think of AC Unity's missions, because there were like a lot of different ways to infiltrate the area and kill targets. There were indoor and outdoor locations. You know, you had quick ways that you could parkour the environment, which seems to be an incredibly large focus of this title, is getting back to the basics of what made these games great. So it's a modern take on the on some old ideas, you might say. And of course, the Eagle Companion, which we first saw in Origins, is back. So you can identify stealth routes, and you're going to want to watch out for the archers on the rooftops and such that could shoot your eagle out of the sky. But you'll be able to use the eagle, you know, to recon and mark enemies so that you can sort of traverse through the environment and make the best decisions you can here. So, any other things that I've noticed here, I'd like to sort of go through a little bit of the action sequence that we've seen here.
From the flesh of the innocent. Hide in plain sight.
So, I mean, we're seeing combat with the hidden blade. We're seeing sort of this quick mark and execute system. We know that Basim here has, you know, the blow dart, the traps, the throwing knives, the noisemaker, the mines. He's obviously got his sword. He's obviously got his hidden blade there. It looks like he has some sort of dagger on the back of his belt there that he might be able to use. And of course, he's got the throwing knives on his hips right there in the front. And so apparently there are going, so even though they're not really going the RPG route here, they are going to have a skill tree in the game. That was something that was said. But yeah, seeing the smoke bomb at work, using that to either disguise assassinations or use it in combat to cloud and confuse your enemies, or using it to sort of break line of sight and escape. You know, this is a tool that we haven't seen for a while, and so it's really good to see some of the classic stuff come back. And so they also want to make sure that this game is accessible to new players. That's something that they've also said, is that this needs to be a good jumping on point, whether this is your, you know, whether you've been playing these games for years or if this is your first Assassin's Creed. They want it to be fun and approachable for everyone. So obviously this is kind of a sleeping mine here. Of course, tracking the enemies with the eagle here, so that you don't lose your target. Seeing that he's able to dodge and do all these cool moves here. You know, break this large enemy's defense. And that was the thing about the hostage grab move in Assassin's Creed 3. Nobody was really immune from it. You could press A at any moment and quickly grab an enemy and use them as a shield in this situation. It's kind of a quick event that you had to have precise timing for. So he's grabbed this brute character, and now he's instantly dispatched. You know, there's no reason to have to sit there and get into a sword fight for several minutes here. And the other cool thing is that he sort of utilizes this as a contextual chance to get the air assassination on the enemy.
From this day
So I'm assuming that means, you know, our favorite assassination types are back.
hidden one.
So maybe a fresh take on our old, you know, our old combat system that we had in the older Assassin's Creed games. You know, the return of, you know, kind of those counterattacks that made us look and feel so cool, but also, you know, weaving in your sword combos and various other gadgets and stuff to get the wins in. So this has been our first look here at Assassin's Creed Mirage. Really excited for this game. It's really reignited my passion for the franchise, and we have lots of other games to look forward to. We do have Assassin's Creed Jade, which is going to be a mobile game, codenamed Jade. We also have Assassin's Creed codenamed Red, which will take place in feudal Japan as a shinobi. And those are a part of this new Assassin's Creed Infinity game, which is sort of going to be a hub for multiple Assassin's Creed titles. But we can look forward to Assassin's Creed Mirage here to show up in early 2023 is my best guess. But that's, you know, that's on Ubisoft here. But very excited for this callback and getting back to what I enjoyed most about this franchise. So once again, gamers, thank you for watching. Definitely hit that like button if you found this video helpful, informative, entertaining. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care.